This is the fourth session of the past paper questions of chapter Waves, Sound and Electromagnetic Spectrum. So the very first taken from October-November paper 2 2016. In this question, stars that are being formed emit infrared radiations. Some of this radiation is received by a telescope that orbits the Earth. Microwave signals from the telescope are sent to the Earth's surface as shown in figure 11.1. So there is a figure 11.1 which shows that the infrared radiations coming out from the distant star falls on the telescope, and the telescope sends signals in the form of microwaves to the stations on Earth. Now, in part 1, microwave travels at a speed of 300,000 kilometers per second. The telescope is 600 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Now you need to calculate the time for a microwave signal from the telescope to reach the Earth's surface. So students, for the calculation of time, we use an equation which is time is equal to distance divided by speed. So when you divide 600 by 300,000, you will get the value for time, which is 0.002 seconds. So the microwave signals takes 0.002 second to travel from telescope to the Earth. Part 2. Infrared and microwave radiations are both part of the electromagnetic spectrum. State two other similarities and give one difference between infrared and microwave radiations. So students, the similarities are both radiations travels with the same speed, and both radiations travel in vacuum and do not require medium. Now when we talk about the difference, so the wavelength of microwave is greater than the wavelength of infrared radiation, or in other words, we can also write that the frequency of infrared radiation is higher than the frequency of microwave. So question is taken from October-November paper 2 2007. In this question, figure 6.1 shows the cone of a loudspeaker. And we all know that when the loudspeaker works, the cone of the loudspeaker vibrates forward and backward. And when the cone of the loudspeaker moves forward, so it pushes the air near it, and a compression is produced. And when the cone moves backward, so air particles near the cone pull away from each other and rarefaction is produced. So this is the reason which you write in part A, in which examiner demands you to describe and in detail the behavior of the cone and the air near to it. Part B, the lowest frequency that a human can hear is 20 hertz. Now, in part 1, state the highest frequency that a human can, with normal hearing, can hear. So, student, the highest frequency is 20,000 hertz. Part 2, calculate the longest wavelength of sound that a human can hear. The speed of sound in air is 340 meter per second. So, students, we all know that the frequency and wavelength both are inversely proportional to each other. So, the examiner demands you to calculate the longest wavelength. So for the calculation of longest wavelength, you need to take the lowest frequency. So when you divide 340 by 20, you will get the value for wavelength, which is 17 meter. Now students, the next question is taken from October-November paper 2 2008. In this question, figure 6.1 shows a ray of white light from a ray box passing into a glass prism. A spectrum is formed between P and Q. So P and Q are the points mentioned on the screen. In part A, state the color of light at end P of the spectrum. So student, the point P is above point Q, and at point P, the spectrum produced is of red color. Now part B, state whether the value of each of these properties for blue light is greater than, equal to, or less than the value for red light. So students, when we talk about the speed of blue light in a vacuum, so the speed of blue light in vacuum is equal to the speed of red light in vacuum. But when we talk about the wavelength, so the blue light comes below the red light, and when we move from red light towards the blue light, so the wavelength decreases and frequency increases. So the wavelength of the blue light is less than the wavelength of the red light. Part C. Figure 6.2 shows the ray passing through a red filter before it reaches the prism. So complete figure 6.2 to show the ray of red light passing through the prism and emerging from prism. Now students, when the red light enters the prism, it refracts or deviates from its original path, and when the light emerges out from prism, so it again deviates and strikes the screen at point A, because point P is the point at which red color appears. Now students, the next question is taken from October-November paper 2 2009. In this question, figure 5.1 is a full scale diagram that represents a sound wave of frequency 5.1 kilohertz in air. Now, compressions and rarefactions are shown to all of you on figure 5.1. Now, on figure 5.1, mark the position of one compression with letter C and one rarefaction with letter R. So, students, we all know that the region in which the lines are closer to each other is known as compression, and the region at which the lines are away from each other shows rarefaction. So students, you need to label or mark C at the position where the lines are closer to each other, and you need to mark with letter R at the position where the lines are away from each other. Now part 2. Using full scale diagram, measure the wavelength of this sound wave. So students, the wavelength is the distance between two consecutive compressions or rarefactions. So you need to measure the distance between two consecutive compressions or rarefactions by the help of a ruler. So when you measure the distance between two consecutive rarefactions, so you will get a value which is in between the range 6.2 to 6.6 centimeter. Now in part 3, calculate the speed of sound in air. So students, for the calculation of speed of sound in air, we use wave equation, which is speed is equal to frequency times wavelength. So first you need to convert the frequency into hertz. So when you multiply 5.1 by 1000, you will convert the frequency into hertz. And you also need to convert the wavelength into meter. So when you divide the value at this at the calculation of this question, I use the value which is 6.4 centimeters. So by dividing it with 100, I will convert it into the meter. So when I multiply frequency with wavelength, the value for the speed will be 326.4 meter per second. Now part B. A sound wave is a longitudinal wave. Describe how a longitudinal wave differs from a transverse wave. So students, longitudinal wave is a wave which consists on compressions and rarefactions, while transverse wave is a wave which consists on crest and trough. Now students, the next question is taken from October-November paper 2-1 2010. In this question, a large number of television sets in a shop are tuned to the same station. The signal travels to some of the sets via satellite in orbit above the Earth. Now, part A, part 1. Explain why only electromagnetic waves are used to transmit the television signals. The reason is that because electromagnetic waves can travel easily through vacuum. That's why we use electromagnetic waves for transmission of television signals. Part 2. State the region of electromagnetic spectrum used to transmit the television signals. So student, we use microwaves. And radio wave is also used. But the problem with radio wave is that when the radio wave enters into the atmosphere, so it gets refracted while passing through the layers of atmosphere. So the good fit answer for this part is microwaves, because microwaves travels in a straight line and can easily travel through vacuum. Part 3. Suggests why satellites are sometimes used to transmit television signals. The students, the main reason for using satellite is that the satellite transmits or spreads microwave signals over the large area of Earth, or the satellite spreads the microwave signals over the large atmosphere of the Earth. That's why we use satellites for transmitting television signal towards the Earth. Part B, the other television set receives the signal directly from a ground-based transmitter very near to the shop. A salesman notices that the signal sent via the satellite arrives 0.24 seconds later than the signal sent directly to the other television set. The speed of electromagnetic wave is given to you, which is 3.0 exponential 8 meter per second. Now the examiner demands you to calculate the distance traveled by the television signals in 0.24 seconds. So for the calculation of distance, we use an equation which is speed multiplied by time. So when you multiply 3.0 exponential 8 by 0.24, you will get the answer for distance, which is 7.2 exponential 7 meters. Now student, the next question is taken from Air 2010 October-November paper 2-2. In this question, a microphone is connected to a CRO. CRO stands for cathode ray oscilloscope, which is used to produce the waveforms of a wave on screen, or the graphical form of a wave. A note produced by a musical instrument causes a trace on the screen. The trace is stored electronically in the CRO. Now, figure 5.1 shows the stored trace displayed on the screen. Now, the time-based setting on the oscilloscope is 0.20 meter per second, milliseconds per division. Student, the small box shows the one division, and the value for time base for per division is 0.20 milliseconds. So this is the value for time which is given to you by per division. So students, for one complete wave, the time taken is 0.80 milliseconds, because one complete wave is present on or is comprised on four small boxes. So that's why the value for the time is 0.80 milliseconds per division for one complete wave. Now students, you need to determine the frequency of the wave or of this knot. So for the calculation of frequency, we use an equation which is 1 over t, and when you divide 1 by 0.80 exponential minus 3, you will get the value for frequency, which is 1250 hertz. So student, for this calculation you need to convert the time into seconds. So how can you convert milliseconds into second? By dividing the value with 1000. So when you divide 0.80 by 1000, you will get the value for time period in seconds, and when you divide 1 by that value, you will get the value for frequency, which is 1250 hertz. Now part B. A note from a second musical instrument is played, and the trace S produced by the new note is also displayed on the screen. Figure 5.2 shows the screen displaying both the original trace and S. Now student, in the space below, describe either a similarity or a difference between the sounds made by the two notes. So it is clearly visible in figure 5.2 that there is a greater difference in the amplitude between the first note and the trace S. So the first difference is the original note is louder because the amplitude of the original note is maximum than the trace S. Now the frequency of the trace S is higher because the time in which a one complete wave is produced by first note, and in the same time there is more than one wave produced or shown in trace S. So that's why the frequency in trace S is higher. Now these two, because of the difference in the amplitude and the frequency, these two notes are of different qualities. That's why the different qualities of both notes is written as the third point. Now students, the next question is taken from year 2011 paper 2 to October November. In this question, figure 4.1 represents a microwave traveling in air through point A and B. Now the distance between point A and B is given to you, which is 40 centimeter. Now you need to state the speed of microwave in air. So the value for speed of microwave in air is 3.0 exponential 8 meter per seconds. Now in part B, determine the wavelength of the microwave shown in figure 4.1. So for the calculation of wavelength, we all know that the wavelength is the distance traveled by a one complete wave. So between point A and B, there are 2.5 waves present. So when you divide 40 by 2.5, you will get the value for one wavelength, which is 16 centimeter, and you need to convert the centimeter into meter. So when you divide it by 100, you will get the value for one wavelength, 0.16 meter. Now part C, describe how microwaves are used in the transmission of television signals by satellite. So students, the microwave signals sent by the transmitter, and these signals travel through the vacuum and received on the satellite. And on the satellite, amplifiers and boosters are installed. So the received microwave signals amplified and boosted by the satellite and then again transmitted back to the receivers on the earth. Now part D. State two properties common to all electromagnetic waves. All electromagnetic waves travels with the same speed, and all electromagnetic waves travel in vacuum and do not require medium for their propagation. Now students, the next question is taken from year 2012 paper 2 on October November. In this question, a water wave of frequency 3.6 Hz is generated in a ripple tank. Figure 5.1 is a scale diagram that shows the wavefront traveling from deep water to shallow water in the ripple tank. A length of 1.0 centimeter on the diagram represents 8.0 centimeter in the ripple tank. Now, part A1. Using measurements from figure 5.1, determine the wavelength of the wave in the deep water. So student, for this calculation, first you need to measure the distance between the first wavefront and the last wavefront. So the distance between the first and the last wavefront is about 6.85, because in this diagram, the length of 1 centimeter represents 8 centimeter. So you need to take great care of this scaling. So the distance between the first and the last wavefront in deep water is 6.85, and between this distance, 5 wavelengths comes. So when you divide the distance by 5, you will get the value the for one wavelength, which is 1.37 centimeter. And the examiner clearly mentions that the length of 1 centimeter on the diagram represents 8.0 centimeter. So what you can do, you just multiply the value for one wavelength by 8. So the answer will be 10.9 centimeter. Now part 2. Calculate the speed of the wave in the deep water. So for the calculation of speed, we use wave equation, which is frequency multiplied by wavelength. So when you multiply 3.6 by 10.9, you will get the value for speed, which is 39.24 centimeter per seconds. Now part B. As the wave passes into the shallow water, state what happens to the frequency. So students, we all know that when the water waves travels from deep water and enters into the shallow water, their frequency remains same, but their speed decreases because the wavelength decreases. Now students, the next question is taken from year 2012, paper 2-1, October-November. In this question, figure 6.1 shows part of a page from a pupil's notebook. There is an electromagnetic spectrum, and a diagram is shown to all of you on your screens. Now, list down 3 errors in the pupil's note. So the first error is the positions of microwave and infrared waves are need to be reversed, क्योंकि इनकी पोजीशन रिवर्स होनी है, क्योंकि अल्ट्रा रेडियो वेव्स के बाद हमेशा माइक्रोवेव्स आता है, माइक्रोवेव के बाद इंफ्रारेड आता है. नाउ द सेकंड एरर इज कि विजिबल लाइट इंक्लूड नहीं किया गया इसमें. और थर्ड एरर ये है कि अल्ट्रासाउंड इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम. इंस्टेड ऑफ अल्ट्रासाउंड द स्टूडेंट मस्ट राइट अल्ट्रावायलेट. Now, part B. State and explain one application of X-rays in engineering. So the application of an X-ray is, X-rays are used to check the internal cracks present inside the metal parts. And the industries uses X-rays to check the cracks present inside the metal parts in order to maintain their quality, their part quality. So students, this is all for the fourth session of the past paper questions of wave, sound and electromagnetic spectrum, and I hope that you all understand the questions which I discussed with you in this fourth session. So thank you for attending my lecture. Allah Hafiz.